28th of the 11th 2017, and it's just overwhelming how much information and images, footage, videos that are coming through from many different parts of our world, showing that the skies are being altered with these chemtrails, and there is a huge darkness up there, and we're just going to continue to show the true fresh images that are coming in right now to this hour. So please, again, all of you, take care and big respect. These two brand new attachments are coming from Mary from Colorado. Now, she is searching the skies, and she is so shocked to see this strange formation, and understanding that these are chemtrails, and those reflections are from wormwood. Our skies are changing. These images again have just come in only but 10 minutes ago. So Mary, thank you for this attachment, because on the screen there is different colours, and that is not our sun. If you look carefully in the centre of the screen, you can see that white reflection, that simulator that they have produced in our skies for many years to fool the public. Look around to the other half, down the bottom of the strange formation. You can see that orange haze that we see on the horizons. We see the same colour reflecting on the other clouds to the other side. This is a huge cover-up. If those chems and then formations weren't there, you would see wormwood. This is Mary's next attachment, and it does get stranger each day we go through these different photographs. Look at this strange formation. Those reflections again are reflecting these other heavenly objects that's now between us and the sun. The sun is still being hugely affected. There's still huge amounts of solar flares, solar winds, and we can feel this. It's a very strange time in our life, isn't it? We are seeing these strange changes all the time. So thank you, Mary, for these attachments. These are absolutely amazing. Monica from New Jersey sent this photograph in, again at the 10:30 AM skies. Now look at those chem lines, and look at the colour of the so-called sun. I believe again it isn't our sun. It's far too dim. The skies are darkening. You can see on this photograph as well, there's far too much chemicals that are being sprayed to this day. So again, thank you for this photograph, and please take care. More spectacular images coming in from Thomas Clan. These again were just taken a short time ago. He zoomed in, and to the left side there's a huge reflection. And again, all this is just a haze of chemtrails, lines and chemicals being sprayed in our atmosphere. This is the next photograph. You can see clearly that reflection, and again all this just spray the chemtrail early hours of the morning and try and hide themselves with those turbine airplanes spraying all day, and they just leave all this mess in the sky to cover the truth. Here's the next image as well. Yes, this is a lens flare, but what we're seeing here is a reflector, not our sun. Too dark here and here, strange formations, and a haze all across our skies. This next photo as well is just pollution. It's just being sprayed all the time. Dark shadows, dark skies, and this again simulator. It is so obvious now. It's reflecting through those cams very strangely. It's a different colour, very fluorescent. Wendy Robbins from Utah was astonished when she saw the skies around 10:30, and she states in her email, the skies did dim, got very dark. Look on this photograph. It is dimming That is a reflector, the wrong colour than the yellow sun we saw many years ago. Look how dark it is here in the skies. It's reflecting wrong on these branches. Here's more images coming in from Thomas. Look at these lines here in the skies. Dark blue. It isn't our light skies anymore. Here in the UK as well, I noticed this as well. This strange circular formation of chemtrails. Can you see this? And the reflector in the skies. We all know now that this is a huge reflector above Earth's atmosphere that's controlled, and it is hiding the truth. Whilst at work, Thomas emailed and said, this here again in the skies is just a haze of chemtrails. He's up early hours of the morning, sometimes 3 AM, to take images and notices 20 to 25 chem planes. So thank you for this image. Thomas also goes back to the same area where he's took other images to show you it is still happening now. Can you see this reflection again is wrong? This is again a huge mirror in the skies. Dark shadows above chem lines here and here. It's just a haze. We will continue to show the images until wormwood is seen in our skies. We will see it. It's just having to take our time and be positive and just keep showing these images as we go through these archives of the galleries of the photos that are sent in every day. Dawn Taylor sent this image in from a webcam, and she states as well, look, I mean, it is changing, isn't it? Look how dim it is. It's becoming to be very much stranger, because when you look at the webcams from the past, you can see that the skies were much brighter than they are now. So thank you, Dawn, for this image that you sent in, and please keep safe. This is the next image that was sent in by Dawn. Now, again, that just looks like a huge reflector again in the skies. Doesn't look like any other known celestial body. It's far too bright. Look at the reflection on these mountains. Now, these images are taken every 20 minutes on these webcams, and they're in high definition, and they're showing you there is a big change. So again, thank you, Dawn, for your respect by sending these in. Here we have another image that's come in from another channel called Quake Watch. Look at the date, the month and the year. Now, that is strange. To the right hand side, where that solar flare has picked up an object, and we've been saying all along in other videos, when you look to the right side you can see a huge pink haze in the skies. So something is out there, and we've got to again think out the box, be open-minded, and it's important to catch any image. So big respect to Quake Watch channel, and thank you for sending this in for us all to see. Thank you. This image again is the same image, but it's enhanced from this same fantastic channel. Can you see clearly more of this round object to the right side? It is out there, isn't it? And we are seeing this haze all the time. And this is what we're going to do. We're just going to keep looking at this pink haze and looking at these strange colours in the skies. As I noticed here in the UK this morning whilst taking my children to school, the skies were far too dark. And when I saw that object rise behind those chemtrails, it is so evident that that is a reflectant light, man-made, built to hide the truth. Here is another zoomed in image of this object off the Soho live cam. Now, looking at that, you can just see the solar flare that lights it up just above. As again, we just got to keep showing the images, and these again are coming through from different sources, and it's fantastic that we're catching other objects. So let's go to other subscribers' images, and thank you so much for sending these in. Steve Britton sent this photograph in as well, and he states in his email, rigid skies. Now, if you look closely, you can see these rigids, these markings up there. But can you see that what they do is they paint the sky? I mean, the thing is, it's blue. It's a haze. But what gives it away is these lines. It's not our real sky. They want the public to look up and think that this is our blue sky. It's not. It is a cover-up. A haze that's up there to cover the truth. Our real sky is behind it. And when they do this, this is to cover Wormwood. This is to cover those heavenly bodies in our skies. They're doing this every day. Fiona Reedy from London, we had a video of her just a short time ago, is still noticing a big change. Now this image only come in only about 9 hours ago. Look again, those lines. This strange colour as well is not our sun. And that red haze on the horizon. This reflection is going nowhere. It's still there. It wasn't there in the past years, but it's there now. Look at this silvery haze. And all this again is just chems. Everything you see on the screen. There's a huge reflection that's down here as well. So we've got to keep note every day to see those changes. And thank you for these and this attachment. David sent this image in. And he's from Canada. And he's a Nibiru research by DLS. He notices as well, as he said in his email, this pink haze. He's seeing it every day. And also, we've not seen this before. It's new to us to see it every day. Look at these lines, these reflections coming through. So again, thank you again for this fantastic image. And thank you for your long email as well. And I have your telephone number and I'll be calling you tomorrow. Matthew France from Ohio sent these photos in as well. He is looking up to the heavens and he's saying on his email that these are not clouds, these are not normal. He's seeing this every day, just these strange formations. Let's move to another one of Matthew's images. He also says that no activity with wildlife up in the skies. He doesn't see any anymore, and all he sees now is seeing those military planes early hours of the morning, and then this is produced in our skies. He looks around and sees that his neighbours, his friends, his people walk around the street, the public are still unaware. This is a zoomed in image that Matthew sent in as well, and they do look strange. He says on an email, strange formations in the skies. Every day this is happening. We're seeing these. Another image that's come through as well, you can clearly see these are just not normal clouds. It is poison that's sprayed and hammered into our atmosphere every single day. So again, thank you Matthew for these images, because we're all seeing the same. You're not alone, because we have built up a strong community now, and it is important to catch these images as many times as possible to see what's happening. And take care. David Giles sent this video in, and you can see it's very important. Look at those reflections on them chem formations. Can you see that orange haze? Now we saw that same colour orange haze on the 16th of October 2017. Now what gives it away is you will see the moon. Now the moon is reflecting from the sun. It's a different colour. You can see the white reflection up there in the heavens. But Wormwood is reflecting on those chem formations. Look at the moon. It's far too bright. It hasn't got that orange haze. So there's two colours in our skies. So thank you again for sending this footage in. Thank you. Here is other attachments coming through from Burbank in the USA. Now this kind subscriber has been taking images and he's been watching the channel since Friday, and he's going to continue watching the channels. And noticing at just before 10 AM he can see those chemtrails and a dip in the light source in the skies. Look at the reflection again. It's completely wrong. There's something here reflecting through. This isn't, again, our sun. This is an object that's up there in the heavens. They are covering the truth. There is no natural clouds anymore. So thank you for sending this image in, because when you look at it very closely, at the buildings and the trees here and this building here, it has got darker, isn't it? A lot darker for the morning skies. Dennis Lebreton from Canada took these images as well. He's watching the channel and he's noticing this strong pink haze. Not seen it before. Not seen these colours before and these strange formations. He's absolutely shocked because he don't see the natural clouds anymore. And I mean, look at the yellow colour again. You can see in the background the haze of the Sol, the sun, but to the left side you're getting another colour that's coming through. These are other colours from other objects that's out there. So thank you again for this image, Dennis. Here is another attachment from Dennis as well. And it's becoming much obvious now, isn't it? These strange cloud formations are reflections, and the Earth's magnetic field is weakening. We're being hammered all the time by these solar flares, and it's still going on now. Something is hugely agitating our solar system, and we know what it is. But still, everything is covered up, isn't it? They're covering our skies to hide the truth. They're using different colours up there as well, blue, to make the sky look blue, but they're putting a huge haze up there so people can't see through that blue spray, that poison again. And many emails still coming through stating that the stars, no one can see the stars. The stars are just a haze now, not very clear to see them. So thank you again for sending this fantastic image in, because you can see the two colours. Here you've got this colour as well from the sun, and then you've got this pink haze coming through. It's so evident now. Here's another attachment as well of this colour in the skies. It just shows you, doesn't it? There's two settings, two colours. People still state in an email saying that they spray the skies with pink chemtrails, but what we can see clearly is a huge reflection from another object that's out there. The colours are getting stronger. Okay, now this is another image from Dennis, but what I'm going to do is as well, I've had a report come through of this truther that spoke about wormwood back in 2011, and please listen carefully to what he says, because everything he's saying is happening now. And I mean, our skies have changed completely since 2011, and please listen to this.
Let me diverse just for one moment to show you how quickly this world can change.
Okay,
very quickly. I indicated that not all world catastrophic events result in a pole shift. Well, I don't believe you're aware, maybe you are, but I don't believe most people are aware that just a few thousand years ago, at 705 BC, a major worldwide catastrophic event occurred. It actually shifted the entire planet, but it was not a pole shift. In fact, during that time, King Hezekiah reigned, and the sun moved backward in the sky. It did not set, it simply, the planet stopped revolving in its current direction, and it moved backward about 10 hours worth, almost half of a revolution. And then whatever gravitational wave or passing space body affected it, it released it, and then it continued to move forward in the same direction. At that very same time, 705 BC, according to our current calendar, the ancient Chinese, who were great astronomers, they recorded that the sun set twice in the same day. It set, it rose back up from the west, and it set again. Now,
that sounds like we were doing the moving.
Right. Now, during that time, before that time, we have discovered, I mean, it is very well documented over hundreds of years. There are historically 15 ancient calendars that were discovered before that time, that existed before 705 BC. 15 ancient calendars. Every one of those calendars has 360-day years. Every calendar is based on a 360-day year. After that event, every calendar for the next 5 years, all around the planet, all the civilizations changed their calendars. The Assyrians, the Chaldeans, the Egyptians, the Hebrews, the Persians, the Greeks, the Chinese, the Mayans, the Hindus. There's every civilization that existed during that time over the next 5 years readjusted their calendars to 365-day years.
Something happened. How did they know this?
They knew it because the stars didn't line up. In fact, they took various approaches. It was very interesting. Numus Pompilius, the second king of Rome, recognized the original calendar, but he added 5 days per year to it to adjust. King Hezekiah, Numa's contemporary at that same time, reorganized the Jewish calendar in a very bizarre way. He added a month each Jewish leap year on a cycle of every 7 and 19 years to make up the adjustment. Other civilizations made different adjustments as they saw the rotational speed of the Earth change as it moved around the sun. So over the period of the next 5 years, all the civilizations caught up to 365-day years. And today, we have 365-day years, but we didn't have that in the immediate past. Before 705 BC, they were 360 days.
That is amazing.
So it just shows you that not all global catastrophic events, it also shows you how frail we are. That we don't know what caused that, but we assume it was a passing space body because we are no longer near the galactic plane like we're approaching now. So if something that small, a passing space body, could cause that, obviously with enough gravitational pull to affect the planet, as our entire solar system passes through this gravitational plane, we expect massive upheaval, as we're starting to see with the earthquakes. And then as we pass through it, we expect to be bombarded by a series of small asteroids followed by larger asteroids as we continue to pass through it. The asteroids, of course, are the dust and the settling matter along the dark rift. And this is where I come back to your question about wormwood. Mm-hmm. The prophecies that you're talking about, the one that specifically mentions wormwood, it mentions that after it talks about a series of events, starting with a pole shift of no less. The exact wording would be similar to the sky recedes as a scroll when it's rolled up, and every mountain and island is moved off of its foundation. Well, if you look at the planet and use terminology that you don't have scientific terminology back then, but if you use whatever terminology you have and you say that every mountain on the planet and every island on the planet is moved off of its foundation, that certainly sounds like a pole shift to me.
Absolutely.
What we expect in our model is exactly what the prophecies then indicate. Now that your atmosphere is stripped, I mean, it just said it rolled away like a scroll, you are at risk to incredible solar radiation or CME blasts. And what is the next prophecy in this series of things? You have literally, if I can, let me find. What I would like to do is I would like to find a phrase that describes that particular event. Here it is. Let me read to you a phrase from one of the prophecies that you're referring to, and explain it. And hail and fire followed, mingled with blood, and they were thrown to the earth, and a third of the trees were burnt up.
Good my.
Okay, now, remember, they don't have scientific terms. If you rip apart the atmosphere of Earth with a pole shift, you are now exposing the upper atmosphere. If a CME blast from the sun, coronal mass ejection, now makes it to the Earth because its magnetosphere has been altered. In other words, our, quote, what is protecting the Earth is now down. We are easily susceptible to the solar winds. In other words, the CME from the sun. That is the fire. Also, as it approaches the upper atmosphere, the 270 degrees minus Celsius temperature of the outside frigid space now touches the upper atmosphere, which is basically water vapor, it would suddenly turn to ice crystals instantly. There's your ice. The hail, which is ice, and fire, the CME, are mixed together and mingled with blood. You're looking at a sequence. It is now moving toward the Earth. What is instantly vaporized? These 43,000 airplanes that are flying at any given moment, and all the people aboard, plus all the flying birds and animals in the air.
Gone.
So in other words, there's your mingle with blood, and then it continues. What does it do? It continues to make it to the deck, and they are thrown to the Earth, and a third of the trees are burnt up. In other words, this is a great sequence of events to describe a simple CME blast that literally fries a third of the planet.
But the fact they were able to predict this is scary.
Now, the next sequence of events is what we would also expect. You have small asteroids hitting the land, hitting the sea, followed by a very large asteroid, what is referred to as wormwood. Now, this is the really interesting part about wormwood. You wanted me to give you my take on it. It seems to be a significant... Now, how do they actually... What divine information presents... What divine information they acquire in order to give you an exact sequence in such extreme detail that science can't even begin to touch. I mean, I'll have to leave that to you for right now. But they discuss wormwood not because it's significant so much, but because of what it does next. A very large, what is like a star or an asteroid, falls to the Earth, and the very next thing that happens is a third of the day and a third of the night don't shine. A third of the moon, a third of the stars, a third, etc. But this is not an obscuration.
Right, it's not like dust in the air.
No, because dust in the air is described next, and it uses different words. This is actually a speeding up of the planet. The asteroid Wormwood actually hits the planet at an angle, so our Earth speed no longer is 365 days. And we now know that it is very simple to alter the spin of the Earth because it happened 705 BC. So basically we have a whole sequence of events. How they could know anything about this is beyond human ken. I'm just telling you that just right up front. So prophecy is absolutely amazing, but what is more amazing to us is we created a scientific model, a very precise scientific model. And we see that these prophecies model very precisely what we feel this model would present.
So very true, wasn't it? That statement that you just heard. And with James' image that's been sent in from Mexico, New Mexico in the USA, it just shows you, doesn't it, that what he said on that statement there about Wormwood, that the shields are down. Our Earth's magnetic field is weakening right now. You can see it clearly on the screen what's happening. They are now using man-made materials, chemicals, to try and protect us, to try and stop these huge solar blasts from entering into our atmosphere down to our land, which will take the power grid down. And the reason why this is happening is because of Wormwood. It's made its way back, and there's many things that are being covered up as well. Look at this image for the 10 AM skies. It's absolutely changed. Everything's changed now. So thank you again, James, for this image. Moments later, James took this image as well. And he is absolutely astonished how people are not looking up, and he's going to continue sending photographs in because, again, it's important on this gallery to send fresh images in. And people state as well to show their images, but there's thousands upon thousands of images to go through, and doing two jobs as well at the moment. I could find it quite difficult sometimes, but again, it is important to put them up on the screen. But look again, you can clearly see that this is a reflector in the sky, but look at the strange formations here. Again, these are not normal clouds. These are to hide and to cover up, to try and stop a huge CME entering down to our land. Edwin Harm sent this photograph in as well. It was taken about 9 hours ago. Now look at the screen again. It's just completely covered up, isn't it? Everything is unnatural, and you've got this fluorescent light that's behind up there in our atmosphere beaming down. I saw this as well this early hours of the morning. I mean, from yesterday. Look at this reflection here as well. 2 different colours. And this is all to hide and cover up a huge problem in our skies. Steve Morthel from the USA took these images, and he noticed the 2 different colours. It was so strong. He's never seen it as pink as a haze like this before, like you saw in Dennis's images as well. Look at this white plasma that you can see, and again you've got the 2 colours. It's becoming a lot stronger now, isn't it, beaming through. All that you see here is chems, no natural clouds. Many other places around the world are in the hotter period, in the summer, but look, I mean, it's beginning to show now, isn't it? So thank you for this image. Jesse sent these attachments in as well, and states that seeing this is so strange. Never seen it before. Never seen these colours so strong, this pink haze. From another part of the world as well. Let's move on to another one of these images. Stepping back, she took another photo, and you can clearly see the 2 colours. This is a pink haze from another object. Look at the colours again. The 2 separate colours. You can just see through here the colour of the sun in the background. But again, you've got to just keep your eyes focused and also look at the changes on the surroundings. So Jess, thank you for sending these attachments in, because it's so clear that this pink haze is going nowhere. It's getting much stronger now. It's starting to cut through all across our skies, a lot stronger across those chem formations. These are not natural clouds. To the right side you can see this, can't you? Monica, again from Massachusetts. Look at this, just to the right side you've got that strange haze. Again, you've got this glowing object, this mirror. But which is quite strange about this as well, is looking between here, it's reacting. There's something wrong. It's breaking down. It's not shining so much, is it? Look again at this dark sky here, and look on the land as well for this time of the day. Monica turned around and stated it was frightening to see it like this. It was unbearable to see how dark our skies are getting, and this lady has seen the skies for a very long time. She remembers it back in the 70s. She knows it was much more brighter and much more different. So there is a huge problem that's out there, and we will carry on showing these images and carry on sending out messages and comments, because we all want to know, don't we? Whilst Monica was walking back towards her car in the car park, she turned the camera around once more because she was so stunned to what she's seen, and taken the next image. And I am so pleased you have, because you've got that orange haze as this simulator seems to be breaking down, and all that haze up here as well, to the right and to the left, is far too dark of the skies. Something is coming. There's a big change now, and we're all gonna see an event. I don't know when this is gonna happen, but I can just seriously tell you now that our skies are so much different, and it's escalating. The chemtrails, the cover-up, the dark shadows, this fluorescent light that moves across up into our skies behind all them HAARP clouds. It's an agenda, and it's continuing, isn't it? And still people are looking down and not taking any notice whatsoever. And I hope that humanity take a look now to see that our skies have changed. Okay, we've got a short video, it's only 20 seconds long, from Monica. Now, like we saw on the other video as well, there's a strange colour on them chemtrails. Can you see just below that pink haze? But looking at the moon, it's that bright white colour in the sky, reflecting off the sun. This strange object, look at this, two different colours again we've got on the screen. We've got that pink haze on them chem lines. Let's just play this video. It's short, but it's important to play it. So thank you for sending this video in, and if you catch any more footage, please do. It's important to send it in. Chrissy V955 from Winstocken sent this image in of the halo and these dark reflections, and another true believer of this heavenly body that's out there and fully knows and is aware that the sun has changed. Look at this orange haze and this object again. It's not our sun, and these black shadows and all these again, chem lines, haze in the sky. It's around 9:30, 9:45, and the skies are still dark. Thank you very much for this attachment. This is another image coming in from Chrissy again, and she states in emails, just very, very strange the way these are like this, and seeing this every single day. She's looking around at the trees, the plant life, and it just looks so unnatural anymore. I mean, it's not the same. Everything's changing. Even on this next image, it's just a haze in the skies. Nothing natural at all. And also states, I mean, people do say they see these images on the screen. And, I mean, I know they're just formations, but this is strange, isn't it? Very, very strange. Look at this halo. And this is, again, another reflection. This is a reflector in the skies. It's just covering everywhere, isn't it now? Here's the next image as well from Chrissy. And it does look strange, doesn't it? Really strange. What is going on? I mean, there is information coming in about CERN, and CERN is trying to open the gates and the stairwell to heaven. I mean, there's so much information that's coming out now, and when we look at these images, they are so strange, aren't they? I mean, look at this again. Very strange. So thank you again, Chrissy, for this image. I do get handfuls of information and emails as well coming through stating that their skies should never be geoengineered. They live in beautiful parts of the world, and they can see their plant life, trees, their gardens, and birds that don't fly anymore in the skies properly, and it's falling apart. They're very upset about it, but they write to their news media, they write to their governors, but nothing in response comes back. They just get told that everything's fine. They're just passenger airlines. But again, I mean, look at the changes up here as well in the skies on this photograph. I mean, these are beautiful parts of the world, but again, they're seeing this. Okay, now I'm going to stop this video, and I've got lots of other images to produce. I've got to sort things out, and I'll be back very shortly. So please, again, always think that don't let others think for you. We must all think for ourselves. It's so important, because looking up at the heavens now, we are seeing a huge change, and we know what's coming, and we need to somehow